Have you reached your 60s only to discover that the children you sacrificed everything for treat you like a distant relative? Maybe they call once a month, out of obligation. Maybe they visit on holidays, scrolling through their phones while you try to make conversation. Or maybe they've stopped calling altogether, and you sit there in the home you once filled with their laughter, wondering, after everything I gave, is this what I deserve? If you're over 60 and feeling this invisible ache, this video will change how you see everything, because what's happening isn't about being old-fashioned. It's about something far deeper, and by the end, you'll understand not just why this is happening, but how to reclaim the peace you've been searching for. Can you remember the last time your adult child looked at you with genuine warmth? Not politeness, not duty, but real affection? If that memory feels distant, then everything we're about to explore is for you. Here's what nobody wants to admit. There are pains doctors can't diagnose, wounds that don't show up on x-rays, and one of the deepest pains you can experience in your 60s is the emotional coldness of the children you raised. You were there for every fever, every nightmare, every scraped knee. You worked extra hours to afford their dreams. You postponed your own vacations, hobbies, maybe even your own happiness, all for them. You built your entire identity around being their parent, the provider, the protector, the one who always said yes. And now, they're too busy to visit, too busy to call, too busy to ask how you're feeling, whether you're lonely. The irony is brutal. You spent 40 years making sure they never felt alone, and now, in the years when you need connection most, you're sitting in silence. This isn't just disappointment. For decades, you wore the mask of the perfect parent, and when that mask is no longer needed, no longer valued, you're left staring in the mirror asking, who am I without them? But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Psychologists discovered something that most parents spend their entire lives avoiding. The greatest burden a child can bear is the unlived life of their parents. If you spent your entire adult life living for your children instead of with them, if you abandon your dreams, friendships, your identity, everything that made you you, then you didn't just give them love, you gave them a burden. You made them the center of your universe, and they feel the weight of your unfulfilled dreams pressing down on them. They sense the silent expectation. I gave you everything, now you owe me. And here's the truth that will either break you or free you. They don't owe you anything. Not because they're ungrateful, not because you weren't a good parent, but because love, real love, is never a transaction. The moment you start keeping score, I did this, so you should do that, love becomes a contract, and contracts breed resentment. Without even realizing it, many parents project onto their children a desperate need for emotional return. It's not spoken aloud, but deep down there's a belief, if I sacrifice enough, they'll take care of me when I'm older. They'll be there the way I was there for them. This is the unspoken contract you signed in your heart. Your children never even saw the document. So when you reach 65, 70, and they're not calling, not visiting, not showing the gratitude you imagined, it's not just sadness you feel, it's betrayal. It's the collapse of a belief system you've carried for decades. But they're not betraying you, they're simply living their lives. The betrayal you feel is the shattering of an illusion. That unconditional love guarantees unconditional return. It doesn't. It never did. Now let's talk about something most parents refuse to see about their children. Many adult children in their 30s, 40s, even 50s are emotionally immature. They were loved, yes, provided for, absolutely, but they were never taught emotional reciprocity. They received freely, but never learned the weight of what they were given. You gave so much, they never had to develop gratitude. You solved every problem, so they never learned resilience. You were always available, so they never learned to value your presence. This isn't about blaming them, it's about seeing clearly. They carry unconscious patterns, an inability to truly see the people who shaped their lives. And you carry your own patterns too. Expectation hidden behind generosity, scorekeeping masked as selflessness, the need for validation disguised as unconditional love. Both must be brought into the light, not to assign blame, but to create awareness, because awareness is where transformation begins. So what do you do now? How do you heal when the people you loved most seem indifferent to your pain? The answer isn't found in trying to change them. It's found in asking yourself a question you may have avoided for decades. Who am I, aside from being a parent? This is the process of becoming whole, of discovering your true self beneath all the roles you've played. For so many parents over 60, parenting became everything: your identity, your purpose, your reason for waking up. And when your children no longer need you in the same way, it feels like identity death. But here's the truth that will set you free. Your worth was never created by that relationship, and it doesn't end there either. You are not just someone's mother or father. You are a person with gifts, interests, wisdom, and depth that existed before they were born and will exist regardless of their presence in your life. Reclaiming that truth isn't selfish. It's survival. It's emotional maturity. It's the difference between spending your remaining years waiting by the phone or rediscovering the parts of yourself you abandoned decades ago. But healing inwardly is only half the journey. The other half requires something most parents over 60 find terrifying: boundaries. You've spent so long being available, saying yes when you wanted to say no, staying silent to avoid conflict. And over time, those choices taught your children that your love came at the cost of your self-worth. The result? They learned to take you for granted. Boundaries aren't walls. They're not rejection. They're a declaration: I exist, I matter, and I will no longer disappear for you. When you say, I'd love to see you, but I need advance notice, you're teaching respect. When you say, I can't drop everything to babysit, let me check my schedule, you're modeling self-care. When you say, I love you, but I won't tolerate being spoken to that way, you're reclaiming dignity. This isn't about being difficult. It's about being whole. It's about showing your children that love without self-loss is the only love that truly lasts. Here's what happens when you stop waiting for their recognition and start reclaiming your life. You stop performing for love and start living in it. You stop explaining yourself and start simply being yourself. You stop needing to be seen by them and finally see yourself clearly. This is wholeness, not perfection, not having all the answers, but integration, accepting every part of your story, the joy and the pain, the giving and the grief, and choosing to move forward anyway. Your adult child may never understand. They may never apologize. They may never give you the acknowledgement you once craved, and your peace can no longer be held hostage by someone else's awareness. If you're over 60 and struggling with the coldness of your adult children, this pain you're feeling is real, it's valid, and you're not weak for feeling it. But you have a choice now. You can spend your remaining years bitterly waiting for them to change, or you can use this pain as a doorway to the most profound transformation of your life. You can return to yourself, rediscover your passions, build new friendships, travel to places you always dreamed of, write, paint, garden, volunteer, laugh again, not because they finally called, but because you remembered who you were before you became their everything. This is your time, not what's left over, not the years they don't want, your time. And when you reclaim it, something miraculous happens. You stop being desperate for their love and you become magnetic, not to manipulate them, but because wholeness attracts, dignity commands respect, and people, even distant children, eventually notice when someone stops chasing and starts living. Will they come back? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the real question: can you be at peace either way? Share your thoughts below. What part of this resonated most? And if you found value here, subscribe. This channel is for people over 60 who refuse to disappear, who choose growth over bitterness, who understand that the best chapters can still be written. Welcome home to yourself.